Imagine waking up every day, working harder than your parents ever did, and somehow ending up with less. Less savings, less security, less freedom. You did what you were told. Study hard, get a job, earn money, be responsible. And yet, month after month, your bank account stays fragile. That's the uncomfortable truth nobody likes to say out loud. For millions of people, poverty isn't caused by laziness. It's caused by habits that feel normal. And that's what makes them dangerous. Because the things keeping people poor often look harmless, even smart, even responsible. They're so common that entire industries profit from them. Buying on credit, saving cash, chasing status, avoiding risk, trading time for money. Each one feels like the safe move, but together, they quietly drain your future. And the worst part is this: most people won't realize it until years are gone. By then, the math has already won. Today, we're breaking down 5 everyday financial behaviors that quietly keep people poor. Not because they sound reckless, but because they sound reasonable. And once you see the mechanism behind them, you'll never look at money the same way. Because being poor is rarely about one bad decision. It's about 5 invisible systems running in the background of your life. The first thing keeping people poor is confusing income with wealth. This is one of the most expensive misunderstandings in modern life. A person earns $5,000 a month and feels rich. They upgrade apartments, upgrade the car, upgrade the clothes, upgrade the restaurants. Life improves. At least, it looks like it does. But underneath the upgrades, nothing actually changed. Because income is what comes in. Wealth is what stays. And that difference changes everything. A doctor making $200,000 a year can be broke. A mechanic making $60,000 a year can be wealthy. It sounds absurd, but it happens every day. Because income creates the illusion of security. Wealth creates actual security. Let's say 2 people both get a raise. One spends the extra money immediately. The other invests it. 5 years later, the first person has a nicer lifestyle. The second person has assets. The first person looks richer. The second person is richer. That's the trap. Modern life teaches people to celebrate income. Because income is visible. Salary announcements are visible. Promotions are visible. New purchases are visible. But wealth is invisible. No one sees the emergency fund. No one sees the investment account. No one sees the debt-free life. So people optimize for what gets noticed. And what gets noticed is spending. This creates lifestyle inflation, the silent wealth killer. Every raise becomes a new expense. Every bonus becomes a new purchase. Every financial win becomes a financial obligation. You earn more, but own nothing. It feels like progress, but it isn't. And the second trap is even worse: buying liabilities that pretend to be assets. This one is subtle because the marketing is brilliant. People buy a car and call it an investment. They buy luxury items and call them rewards. They finance expensive lifestyles and call it success.
But the numbers tell a different story. A real asset puts money in your pocket. A liability takes money out.
That's it. Simple. But people reverse the definition every day. Take the car. A brand new car feels like progress. It smells like success. It signals achievement. But financially, it loses value the second it leaves the lot. Then come the payments, insurance, maintenance, fuel. It costs money every month while losing value every year. That's not an asset. That's a liability dressed like a trophy. And this doesn't stop with cars, phones, designer clothes, luxury apartments, furniture bought on installments. They all create the same illusion. I can afford this because I can afford the payment. That sentence has destroyed more wealth than bad investments ever did. Because affordability is judged by monthly payment instead of total cost. And monthly payments are designed to manipulate perception. A $40,000 car sounds expensive. $499 a month sounds manageable. That's how the system sells debt. Not by lowering cost, by lowering pain. And once people normalize payments, they begin stacking them. Car payment, phone payment, furniture payment, subscription payment. Individually, each one seems harmless. Together, they consume the future, because every recurring payment steals future income before it arrives. And when enough future income is already spoken for, wealth becomes impossible. The third mistake looks responsible, but it isn't. Thinking saving money is enough. Saving feels responsible. It feels disciplined. It feels safe. And decades ago, it often was. Put money in the bank. Earn interest. Watch it grow. Simple. But the financial world changed. Inflation changed the rules. If inflation rises 5% a year and your savings account earns 2%, you are losing purchasing power. Your balance goes up. Your wealth goes down. That's the hidden math. And it's devastating because it feels like progress. You saved $10,000. A year later, it becomes $10,200. That sounds like growth. But if prices rose 5%, what cost $10,000 now costs $10,500. You are $300 behind. You saved money and became poorer. Quietly, legally, predictably. This is one of the cruelest financial illusions because people think they are protecting themselves. But cash sitting still in an inflationary system slowly decays. It's like storing ice in the sun. The form remains for a while, but the value melts. Cash matters. Emergency savings matter. But treating savings as the final goal? That's where people fall behind. Because wealth isn't built by storing money. It's built by owning things that grow faster than inflation. Businesses, stocks, real estate, productive assets. The wealthy don't just save money, they deploy money. And the fourth habit that quietly keeps people poor is trading all your time for money. This is the default economic model. Work an hour, get paid. Work more hours, get more money. Simple and deeply limiting because time has a ceiling. There are only 24 hours in a day. No matter how skilled you are, no matter how disciplined you are, your earning power is capped if it depends entirely on your time. That means income stops when work stops. Take a vacation, income pauses. Get sick,
income pauses. Burnout, income pauses. That fragility is dangerous because it means survival depends on constant output. Meanwhile, wealth is built when effort becomes scalable, when 1 hour of work can continue producing value later. That's what assets do. A business system, an investment portfolio, digital products,
Royalties, equity. These are mechanisms where time and income become partially disconnected. But most people never reach that point because hourly earning feels productive. It gives immediate rewards, and immediate rewards are addictive. The paycheck arrives, bills get paid, the system feels stable. But long term, it creates dependency. The person becomes the engine. And if the engine stops, everything stops. And the fifth habit may be the most dangerous of all: paying for status instead of freedom. This is where psychology becomes expensive. Humans compare. Humans signal. Humans measure themselves through what others see. And markets understand this perfectly. That's why entire industries are built on selling identity. Not products, identity. A watch isn't sold as a watch. It's sold as prestige. A car isn't sold as transportation. It's sold as importance. A house isn't sold as shelter. It's sold as status. People spend enormous amounts of money trying to look financially successful.
And in doing so, they sacrifice becoming financially secure. That irony is brutal. Because freedom is invisible. No one sees your low expenses. No one sees your investments. No one sees your debt-free life. But everyone sees the car, the clothes, the vacation photos. So many people buy symbols of wealth instead of wealth itself. And symbols are expensive. Every dollar spent impressing others is a dollar not buying freedom. Freedom means options. The ability to leave a bad job. The ability to survive emergencies. The ability to say no. The ability to choose. Status often removes those options. The expensive car creates a payment. The luxury apartment creates pressure. The branded lifestyle creates dependency. The image of freedom replaces actual freedom. And people protect that image even when it hurts them. They stay in jobs they hate to maintain appearances. They take on debt to preserve perception. They postpone investing to sustain identity. This is how status becomes a financial prison. And that's the larger truth behind all 5 of these habits. They are not random mistakes.
They are reinforcing systems. Confusing income with wealth leads to lifestyle inflation. Lifestyle inflation leads to debt. Debt makes saving harder. Saving without investing loses value. Without assets, income depends on labor. And status spending keeps the cycle alive. Each habit feeds the next. And over time, the result looks like bad luck. But often, it's just math. Slow, silent math. That's why so many hardworking people remain financially stuck. Not because they don't earn, not because they don't try, but because the default financial behaviors around them are designed to consume everything they earn. So here's the question. How many of these habits are quietly shaping your financial future right now? Because the biggest financial risk may not be earning too little. It may be following the same money habits everyone else accepts as normal. And if even one of these patterns felt familiar,
then the good news is this: patterns can be changed. If you found this video informative, hit like, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments, which of these 5 habits do you think traps the most people? Because the first step to building wealth is seeing what's been keeping you